Welcome to the Dachop team. I'm your host, Seth the Dark Child.
I'm your host, twinsinc.
Our show is about two guys and any friends that happen to come over with a topic that we want to chop up.
This is our barbershop style podcast. We discuss it all. If the fellas at the shop will go in on it, we will. Let's chop it up.
Hey, welcome back. Today is just us right now, and we were having this wild conversation about aliens. Who believes in them and who don't?
I believe in them.
And the bad part is, I believe in them too. So we're not arguing, but we are really... Okay, question. Why haven't we seen aliens by now?
Now, that's a good question. Now, it depends, because the media and movies make you think these aliens are these green-looking people, bald-headed, small, whatever. Technically, we don't really know. Shoot, with all being said, we could be the aliens. We just don't know it.
Well,
that's getting a little deep there, but I'm just saying. No one can really know what an alien. I mean, of course, you've seen people with a history, they saw it and they draw pictures of it, but no. Why we haven't seen them, I don't know. But I believe they're out there. And let me tell you why I believe they're out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have the human race, people, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We had dinosaurs.
We did.
And they were like 50 feet tall.
Probably delicious at the barbecue.
Good luck trying to catch one and kill it and cook it.
Fred Flintstone did. Keep going.
Cartoon. But the point I'm trying to make is that if we had dinosaurs running around the earth and we got the bones to show that they were, right? Who's to say that there are not aliens running around here? Who's to say that?
Well, I totally agree. So, one thing, I read an article a while ago, and it was in Peru. They found a mummified body in Peru, and when they looked at it, it was obvious it was never human. It was humanoid, but it was never a human. The head shape was wrong, the jaw structure was wrong, the hands and fingers were wrong. But it had been mummified, meaning that they took the effort to wrap it up and treat it with the
respect. Yeah.
So the question is, what the hell was it? If it's obvious it wasn't ever human, so what was it? Notice that whenever you see something like this, it just disappears. They never do follow up on it. Like, hey, forget it. It doesn't matter. But here's my thought. First off, for anyone who, this is me as a nerd, unless we were put here on Earth, no other species that we run into will resemble us at all. Meaning, Earth's gravity, the animals, the natural predators, blah, 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 made us look the way we look. We are descended from apes and monkeys. We're the only species on the planet that's bipedal, walking on two legs and all that. So I absolutely despise Star Wars. All the aliens look like humans. All of them. That's crazy as hell. I mean, so even on Earth, most of the animals on Earth that walk have 4 legs.
True.
So why? But you also have stuff with millipedes, centipedes, insects, spiders, multiple legs.
Right.
So
true. Why
would we assume that the alien? I don't want to see an alien because I'm pretty sure there will be shit in my pants. I'm just saying it's not going to be no little cute gray thing that looks reasonable.
No, not the movie, the E.T. What we know, E.T. guys?
Yeah. Oh, hell no. Come on. Be honest with yourself. E.T. guys. Don't you before you develop the science to create interstellar flight, you have to be able to survive at the top of your planet's food chain. You don't get to be the biggest animal on the planet. I mean, the baddest animal on the planet without being able to defend yourself. So E.T., come on.
Stop it.
They look like doodle balls with long necks. Come on, man.
No, that was a movie, though. So
no, but see, now this is weird for me. I want to be honest. This scares me.
Okay.
Did you ever see the movie Thing came on TV the other day, yesterday or Friday?
The old school movie when they're in the ice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a classic right there.
Yeah, the original.
Yeah.
Dude, scariest motherfucking movie ever for me.
Yeah. Because copy themselves.
Dude. But you saw what it looked like when it wasn't trying to be a human.
Facts.
Because it's not going to look like us. Dude, they say they found like 10 billion planets or stars, hundreds of billions of planets.
Yeah, galaxies and everything.
That means that you got hundreds of billions of trillions of planets.
Yeah.
There are aliens.
Definitely.
If they can ever come to Earth, but they won't look like us unless they put us here in the first place.
Right. Think about that. We have this unlimited access of outer space, all these light years of galaxies, all these stars out there, other planets out there that look like they can have life on it, and we just going to sit here and assume that Earth is the almighty, and that's it.
Crazy as hell.
Like, that makes no sense.
None. I mean, it.
And mind you, we can barely travel just to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, people say, "Oh, we did it before." Man, if we did it before, how come they can't find the records on how to do it again? And how come you won't go back? But you want to go to Mars and Jupiter or Saturn with these robots weird. And tour? You know, just go around and see what's there, but you have not made it back to the moon. Why?
I'm not.
You know what I'm saying?
How crazy is that? You want to go to Mars before you go to the moon?
Right.
Doesn't make any damn sense at all.
At one point, it was a race to see the first one and get there. Right.
And personally, I don't think we've ever been to the moon. I mean, have you seen the science? But back to aliens.
Right.
You know, that's a different rabbit hole.
All different rabbit hole.
Honestly, if there's no way we are alone in this universe, that would be crazy.
Yeah. You know what? To even add more fire to the fuel, throw some more wood on top of the fire. Listen, it is now 2000, soon to be 20, but it's still 19. And with all the great technology that we have at this moment, right now, we got these smartphones, got these tools and resources, no one can explain how the pyramid was built.
Nope.
No one. We have these 10-ton rocks being moved and pushed around and carried, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the technology and equipment that we have, we can't even duplicate that. And mind you, back in the early Egyptian time, they didn't have no cranes.
Mm-mm.
You know, everything was done manual power.
How in the heck do you get a 50-ton stone block into 400 feet up off the ground using just men and horsepower? I'm just saying.
You can't.
And they did this. And the bad part about just for future reference, when you see those pyramids, don't be fooled into thinking that they just made those 3 in Cairo.
Right.
There are thousands of pyramids throughout Egypt and the world. Thousands. Even Stonehenge. I like Stonehenge because it's the most ridiculous. Those people didn't even have the same technology the Egyptians had.
Facts.
But at the same time that we made the pyramids, and I say we because I'm black power. The same time we made the pyramids in Egypt per se, it's the same time they were moving 100-ton stones of granite to a isolated place in the middle of a field. And once again, those guys were Stone Age. They were nowhere close to as technologically advanced as the Egyptians. We're talking ancient Druids and Celtics and those guys.
Facts.
But yeah, they're okay.
so right. You think about it, you speak those facts. You just can't come to a really answer. They want to teach in school about stuff that doesn't really matter. You know, history this, history that. But when we start thinking about the world history, you don't want to talk about that. And that's why we read the topic. Do you believe in aliens? Someone had to build that stuff back in the day.
I got something.
I
saw this on TV yesterday from Ancient Aliens, whatever episode that was.
Discovery Channel?
History Channel.
Okay.
So,
yeah, it's one of those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, when Columbus landed in the New World.
Mm-hmm. I heard about that.
When he landed in the New World, the people didn't think they were from another country. They welcomed them as visitors from the stars. Why was their first reaction to think they had come from space? Once again, it sounds weird, but they didn't say, oh, you come from across the sea or you come from another land and you're humans like us. When they first got there, they thought that they were visitors from space because they had on the metal armor and everything.
Yeah.
They thought that they were from space, and they weren't afraid. They welcomed them. I'm just saying.
Message.
It happened.
Message.
So that's history. If y'all don't want to know, I'm just saying. That's on the History Channel.
Why do you think they don't want to really talk about the world history, right? What would I do if it was so that there were aliens? What would that change in the world today?
You know what? It depends. Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
If it was really new aliens, I know that sounds a certain kind of way, but if it was new aliens, meaning never been to Earth before, well, it's a couple of different things. First off, why would you come? Nobody's coming here just to visit from 50 billion miles away. So I'm afraid of that personally. But if they are new aliens, they're not going to be our friends. If they are old aliens, though, they've been here before. The fear is that people find out that everything our government has ever told us and taught us, all of our history books, everything that we know, all of our religions, were bullshit. That's that fear. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna branch out into a little history because right now you don't hear much about archaeology and stuff like that in the news anymore.
No.
That's because, for future reference, and I'm going Afrocentric here.
Okay. Talk to him.
The further back in history you go, the blacker history becomes. So you can say that they're Asians and Chinese or black and Hispanic American Indians. All the artwork all over the world, the moment you go back to a certain point in time, it becomes black, Afrocentric, Negroid, however you want to look at it. So it's pretty obvious that we are the original race. They'll tell you that, but then they want to make you think history is only 6,000 years old. That's hilarious. Even right now, the Sphinx, carbon dating on the Sphinx puts it at least 12,000 years old, possibly up to 180,000. It's a certain color of people, race of people who don't really want to acknowledge the fact that while their history is only 6,000 or so years old, our history is much older. In which case, they probably the damn aliens. Just a thought.
Can't disagree on that.
Yeah, so that's why I don't want you to know if it's new. Imagine if the aliens showed up and they Caucasians. You mother freakers been alien invaders our whole history. I mean, think about, or what if the aliens show up and they black and they Afrocentric? You know what I'm saying? You guys are invaders. You are.
Listen, I'll say this. A lot of movies that are made have truth to them.
I think that
it is true. They throw small bits and pieces at people in certain movies that come out, but a lot of stuff is real. And I'll give you a prime example. I'm trying to remember, what year did that movie come out with Will Smith? Is it Enemy of the State?
Oh, that would have been like right around 2000 or?
No, it was way before that.
You think it was in the 90s?
I want to say it was in the 90s. But the point I'm trying to make is that everything that Will Smith was doing that movie and running from is happening right now. The technology back then that we thought was just whatever, everybody got on the phones now. Oh,
I'll go you one better.
Go ahead.
Star Trek. Remember when they used to pull the little thing out and beam me up, Scotty? That was a damn cell phone. when they just touch a button and start talking, that ain't like a Bluetooth or a wearable right now.
Facts. I mean, that's true. That is true. But once again, like I said, 1998.
98, okay.
98 when that movie came out. Phone tap, everything.
Exactly. Well, here's the magic. Remember this always. No matter what you see them do on TV, and the only reason you can imagine them doing that now, because they've already moved past that part.
Facts.
So that's why they don't have to put a bug in the shoe that you're going to be able to find. Hell wrong with you. Have you seen some of these video cameras and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
What?
They've been using them.
Exactly.
How you think they've been tapping people's house?
Exactly. Yeah. Have you seen these GoPro cameras?
Yeah, but now they sell them. Now they sell them where you have them in your house now. But yes, this all stemmed from, do you believe there's aliens? I do. Well, you can't convince me otherwise that there isn't aliens.
Okay. No, me and you, listen, you know, this is a subject I've done a little research on because I'm nerdy. But here's the thing. Think about this. If you don't believe in aliens, for 5,000 years, we rode horses, fought with swords and spears, as far as you know.
Facts.
Over the last 200 years, we've went from riding horses to spaceships that'll go to the moon, at least go to space.
Right.
We went from only being able to communicate verbally, you know, and writing in books, to being able to instantaneously communicate over the course of the entire planet.
Yeah.
So we went further in 200 years of human evolution than we did in the first 6,000.
Documented. That we know of.
That we know of. Are you going to tell me that we just that damn smart? Because you don't jump further in 200 years than you did in 6,000 years without some kind of help.
Some assistance.
That's my opinion. That's like me saying I'm learning how to read. I'm learning how to, and then next week
you speaking Japanese.
I'm speaking Japanese, and and I can use 7 different forms of martial arts. But wasn't last week you were riding trying to figure out how to make a horse and put seeds in the ground? Now you're doing genetic engineering.
Facts.
What the hell, dude? It doesn't move that fast. Think about it.
And listen, and of course, everybody know about the whole Area 51, which is still there, of course. But do you really think that wherever they were doing in Area 51 is still there? No. They probably moved the area to somewhere else, somewhere Area 52, somewhere else, because the media and everybody knows about it now. There's people whose life is sitting there and watching to see what happens on Area 51 now.
Basically.
So they keep that as a distraction for what's going on somewhere else. I mean, think about this. And Alaska is the only place in the world that you just can't get up and go. Or Antarctica.
Oh, we don't even want to. Oh, I got a video I need you to see on that one.
Okay.
But yeah,
but
you can't.
Right. Go ahead.
There was a treaty, and I don't know the details of it, and I have to research it. But there was a treaty signed by every major country on the earth that says they will not go beyond the 60th parallel south, meaning Antarctica is pretty much off limits except with government approval, and you can't get approval. Okay? Why? So I didn't want to bring up flat earth or nothing like that, but why the hell can no one go below 60 degrees latitude south? Check this out. They always say the earth is flat, and I did something recently. They said if the earth was not flat, you wouldn't be able to, the earth would curve. How far should you be able to see from a standing position based on the curvature of the earth? I'm going to send you the video.
Okay.
But it's real simple. But they showed some oil platforms.
Okay.
Right? One platform was like 27 miles out. Another was like 40 or something. Another was 50 that they could see from the beach.
Okay.
Right? But based on the curvature of the earth, you should not have been able to see 50 miles straight because it should have curved away from you.
I mean, where were they at to do this?
No, it doesn't matter. You're on the beach.
So
if it's, when I say beach, at sea level, because water levels itself.
Okay.
So sea level is the basis of it because it's the level. You know what I'm saying? Because mountains go up, valleys go up and down, but water is pretty much flat outside of the waves.
Okay.
So you shouldn't be able to see, and while you may not be able to see with your naked eyes,
Right.
but they got these cameras with like 50 million times zoom.
They do.
You can't be like, wait, I can see straight 50 miles that direction, which should be theoretically impossible because the Earth curves. So while it ran out of my visual range at about 10, 15, 20 miles,
Right.
cameras, technology, you can zoom in. You can take a picture and keep zooming in.
So you can't no more.
And at one point, you should not be able to see something 50 miles away unless it's a damn mountain.
Okay.
You shouldn't be able to see a ship on. So I was at a hotel, and I was up on I think it was like the 14th floor or something like that. So I was high up.
Okay.
But there was a cruise ship that might have easily been 15, 20 miles away. And I took a picture of it. You know, it was a long way away. I zoomed out as far as I could. I could see what I thought was the ship sitting on the water. I shouldn't even if it wasn't with that level of curvature,
You shouldn't be able
I
to
should
see
have
it.
barely been able to see the tip of the boat because it should have been curving away from me. So I'm gonna send you that video because I'm like, dude, I'm not a flat earther, but some weird stuff going on because
This video breaks it down and give you a little more information and make you
it's-
believe. Like,
and
there
I
might
don't
be something to this.
I don't want to believe, but I've done one of the basic tests by my damn self. I shouldn't have been able to see that ship, that cruise ship, sitting on the horizon. It was at least 5 to 10 miles away. I should not have been able to see the entire ship.
I mean, and listen, you can't. They don't have a picture of the whole Earth. You can't find a picture,
Dude.
And I ain't talking about the ones that they, Photoshop and all that stuff. You really can't. You can't really see a picture of the Earth from outer space.
Exactly.
You only see like the top part of it, and of course it's black background, but you can't see. You can't. And even with Antarctica, we talked about, you can't even look on Google Maps. That area is blacked out.
I got something even worse for you because I did this the other day.
Okay.
I did because after watching that video, I was like, maybe let me check. So I started looking at distances, right? Since if you're at the equator, since the Earth is a globe, from the distance from, let's say, what would be at the equator? Maybe Jamaica or
I used to not can't remember, but go ahead.
well, Cuba. What I say is the distance from Cuba to Cairo, Egypt, or something like that should be a lot, right?
Okay.
But the further north you go, so let's say from Anchorage, Alaska, to Denmark, Stockholm, Denmark, or something like that, it should be less. It should be less because at that point, the higher up the globe you go, the smaller it should be, right? So while it may be 12,000 miles from Jamaica to Egypt, from Anchorage, Alaska to an equivocal point somewhere on the map should be 6,000 miles because the Earth is shrinking, but it didn't. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, if the Earth is really flat and all we doing is rolling around in a stupid little circle, the distance from Johannesburg, South Africa, or Cape Town, South Africa, which is as far south as you can go, to like Buenos Aires or something like that, or whatever's at the bottom of South America, should be huge. It should be smaller because it's at the bottom of the map, right? But if it's a flat Earth, then that number should be huge, thousands of miles, much larger. I typed it in the first time. I typed it in a lot. You wouldn't believe how many times the internet would not provide me that information.
Of course not.
Dude.
They control the internet, so they're going to take things out.
Dude, I'm just saying. This is supposed to be common sense. It's like, okay, fine. Boom, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop. What the hell? I didn't get a good answer to my question, by the way. So I was like, okay, what's the circumference of the Earth at the 60th parallel south latitude? That's just a question. Google Maps should have answered that in 5 seconds. It didn't return me an answer. I'm like, maybe the system's down or something. But what is the circumference of the Earth at 60 degrees latitude south? do that?
Nothing.
I got no answer. That's all I'm going to point out. I didn't get an answer to that question. I don't know what the circumference of the earth is at that latitude. It should be 6, 7, it should be in 18, 19,000 miles, maybe even less. But I didn't get a good answer.
I want to know why.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So that's the whole point about like aliens and all this. If my fear is this, if they're aliens, our government lies about us so freaking damn much.
That's true.
That if something showed us that they were truly lying, I'm afraid of what them bastards would do.
Who, the government or the other race or species?
No, the government. I mean, hell, Donald Trump lied daily, and there's still people don't believe he lied daily, even though they watched the videotapes of him lying. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, you can't change people. At this point now, people brainwashed for all these years, so I completely understand. But yeah, I mean, sometimes people, if you go out there and you do a little research and stuff, you start it will take you down a rabbit hole. So
it is.
So let's be clear. So if you're ready to fall down a rabbit hole, do a little research. Start. I would say start doing the research of the Earth. That's where it's going to start. Because that's how it started with me. Because I wanted to know the history of the Earth.
Yeah, but be careful. Because if you search long enough, you will end up at a porn site. and I think they do that on purpose because you will forget what you were doing.
It's a setup, right? It's a setup. Like, oh, this person's getting too close to it.
Let's show them some boobs. Oh, that's it. Porn. That's our next topic.
Okay. But listen, I wasn't expecting that one.
I know.
But listen, you'll be a fool to think that there is not life out there. Mm-hmm. You'll be a fool to think there's no aliens. Because there's things in the world that you can look around and you just can't explain. And no one can give you the answer. Now, if you choose not to question things, then you're the fool. Simple as that. We all were given brains. We all have the opportunity to critical think and think things out. So some things just doesn't add up. As a kid, I've been force-feed certain things my whole life. But now once you get to an age of understanding and maturity, you start thinking on your own, start doing critical thinking. You're like, you know what? This is not making sense. And then you start doing your little research, go to libraries, do your little Google research, YouTube. You find out you may not be the only person who thinks like this. Round Earth, whatever. But when you start digging a hole about the history of the Earth, I'm not just speaking on history on the Bible or history of... No, do the history of the Earth. Find out about the Earth. Like, you never sit there and think about, like, man, where did people come from? Because you can't say, oh, it came from Adam and Eve. Okay, who was here before Adam and Eve? See, here's what jump started for me. My question is this. We have a Bible, and it says God spoke light, there was light, all this stuff, right? 7 days. And we have a whole Bible, right? So my point is this. If we have a document saying of the Bible, so where were the dinosaurs at? So were the dinosaurs before the Bible, or was it after? That no one can give you that answer. And the point I'm making is that you can go to a museum right now and look at these dinosaur bones. So it's not like, no, dinosaurs are fake. No, this is a real deal. So you can't explain to me where dinosaurs come from, and I'm not sure where in the Bible they talked about dinosaurs in the Bible, but all I know is that the way that we have breakdowns of dinosaurs and how they weren't walking hand in hand with man. If anything, they was eating man. Simple as that. You can't control. It's like a man right now can't control a lion. Now you can shoot it. You know what I'm saying? But if you can
kill it,
if it came down to hand to hand combat, your hand versus his claws, you're gonna lose all day. So to say that a T-Rex was walking around here and you talking about, sit boy, you listen to me, I'm your master. No, stop it. And my brain runs so deep. I say, you know what? If they were men back then, right? They were big as the dinosaurs, and dinosaurs are what we look at as frogs and reptiles run around now. So that's something else to think about. We had giants. Simple as that.
The Bible tells you so.
Right. So if we have giants, then that may explain how these pyramids and stuff were built. Because if I'm 20 feet tall picking up 1 ton is nothing to me because, I'm 10 times stronger than I am now.
Absolutely. And that's the weird part. I like the way you were at with that because for a human to move a 50-ton granite block would take 40, 50, probably 100, 200. But if you were a giant, it might just take 20 of you guys,
Facts.
Which is doable. You can do that.
It's like lifting weights.
Exactly.
When you lift weights, you got somebody squatting you, 250 pounds, you do it 10 times. But if you're a big giant, that's nothing to you.
Yep. That is true because, well, we could get off that, but your weight doesn't scale with your size.
Exactly.
Meaning at 5'10", yeah, my maximum strength might be 300-400 pounds. But if I was 10 feet tall, my maximum strength could easily be 2,000 pounds.
Easily.
It doesn't scale. I mean, it scales up based on your height and it goes off the chart real quick. At 15 feet tall, you might easily be able to move 3,000-4,000 pounds because you may actually weigh 1,000, 2,000 pounds.
Right. And most people in the workout field, most people is their goal is to either lift their same weight or more than they weight.
I think the max will be around 2.5 to 3 times your body weight.
Right.
And working out, if you can lift 1.5 times your body weight, you can be a professional bodybuilder.
Facts.
Just saying, 1.5 times your body weight.
And yes, people, we have giants as well. Yes. Now, granted, you're not going to see those in the museum because every time the government finds them, they kill them, of course, and then the bodies or the bones just disappear. But if you do some research,
Smithsonian,
yeah, in the secret lab downstairs. But if you do your little research, you'll hear plenty of stories of people fighting and coming across giants. Simple as that.
History.
So it's history. So once again, we keep going back. So who was here first?
And once again, are we the aliens? I'm still leaning toward white people being aliens, but hey, that's my thought.
We can, that's a whole another deep topic,
dude.
But right. But I look at it, we can be the aliens, technically.
Yeah, I mean,
let's say that okay, we had dinosaurs. There was a rock. I can't think of the word right there. They hit the earth, killed them. Okay, I can believe that, right? Because we find stuff hitting planets all the time. It's, but it happened. And then all of a sudden, then some other life form came here. You know what I'm saying? The spaceship and planted seed. They dipped out. They said, we back in 20 million years. See how y'all doing?
Or they could have sat up in heaven and watched over us. I'm just playing. No, but listen, because I think I should have brought this up. But no, look at in the Bible. You should always ask yourself what happened to Enoch. He's important.
Facts.
Because Enoch, in the Bible, it clearly says Enoch lived X number of years, and then God took him, and he walked with God. No idea what that means. There are stories of chariots of fire, and if you look at Hindu mythology and religion, they believe the Earth is hundreds of thousands of years old. They have basically the records, histories go back maybe millions of years. We don't know, but honestly, we didn't.
Go ahead.
I just want to finish. We didn't go from the horse and carriage and buggy to nuclear weapons, cell phones, and spaceships in 200 years without somebody showing us how to do this. We were not ignorant for 6,000 years and then all of a sudden get incredibly smart. This shit ain't natural, people.
So on that note, people, we're going to wrap it up on this episode. But yes, we do believe there is life out there. So please drop a comment. We'd like to hear your thoughts. Please, we'd love to hear the thoughts. Are we crazy or not? Let us know.
I hope it's not. But peace.
We out. You enjoy the rest of your day.